a fiberglass leather design which looks promising, and as far as the colors and the saturation is concerned, the blacks are deeper and the whites are brighter. To capture amazing microscopic shots, the smartphone utilizes a light ring. Hey guys, welcome back to yet another video of Tech Paper. Hopefully you're having a great day. Adil here, your host, and in this particular video I'm about to unbox a product that was sent maybe a week ago than its launch date, and I received it a day after the launch date, and for that I would like to thank you TCL for fulfilling the commitment to deliver on time. And now let's just jump on to the unboxing of OPPO's F21 Pro, and this smartphone has some exciting features and I'm really looking forward to test them. One of them is its selfie shooter, which is the key selling point, and it is Sony's IMX709 sensor, and along with that the smartphone carries a micro sensor. Yes, you heard it right. The smartphone packs a micro sensor instead of the macro lenses that are normally found on the smartphones, and I must say that is worth checking out. And speaking about the design, the smartphone packs a flat edges design with fiberglass grain leather, and it definitely looks impressive and I'm pretty sure that you'll love it. So without further ado, let's jump on to the unboxing and the first impressions of the OPPO's F21 Pro, and here we go. And this sleek, lightweight and flat design makes the smartphone sit comfortably and use it even with single hand. Now speaking about the back of the phone, the color that we have received is sunset orange, and it is a fiberglass leather design which looks promising, and not just that, but it's pleasing color which attracts user a lot. This textured leather back houses a triple camera setup in a rectangular module. Now let's just switch the phone to the bottom, and there you will find a speaker grill along with USB Type-C connector, a microphone and a 3.5mm headphone jack, and it is a standard placement of these modules. And if we switch the smartphone to the top, you'll find the noise cancellation microphone there. At the left side of the phone you'll find the placement of volume rockers along with the SIM tray, and the SIM tray slot has a dedicated microSD card slot along with the dual SIM slot, so you can expand the storage whenever you want. If we switch the smartphone to the right side, you'll find the placement of power button, and as far as the buttons are concerned, they are tactile and clicky at the same time. Now let's just talk about the display, and the OPPO's F21 Pro features a 6.43 inches Full HD Plus panel with 1080 into 2400 pixels of resolution. The display also offers 90 Hz of refresh rate, and we can confirm that by just going into the settings. And for better user experience, you should opt for the high settings in the menu. Along with the 90 Hz refresh rate, the display is protected with a coating of Corning Gorilla Glass 5, and that makes the smartphone's display kind of unbreakable. Speaking about the bezels, they are thin and they also provide a premium glance at first look. The normal brightness of the smartphone is 480 and it can go up to 600, and as far as the peak brightness of the smartphone is concerned, it can go up to 800 nits, which is quite decent. That means you can use the smartphone under a direct sunlight without any trouble. Now speaking about the colors and the saturation, let's just play a video and test those. You can play videos on YouTube and Netflix at maximum of 1080p on this smartphone, and as far as the colors and the saturation is concerned, the blacks are deeper and the whites are brighter, so that definitely provides an impressive look to the display of the smartphone. As far as the viewing angles are concerned, they are good. While speaking about the display, the smartphone carries an on-display fingerprint scanner, so let's just test the performance of it. And as always, the OPPO's on-screen fingerprint scanner is working really quick. Let's just test the speaker of the phone. Even though the phone does not carry a stereo speaker setup, but still the overall sound experience of the OPPO's F21 Pro is pretty decent. And speaking about the overall media experience on the OPPO's F21 Pro, the display offers accurate color reproduction that makes it a suitable device for binge watching. Well, now it's time for the performance and the hardware section, and the OPPO's F21 Pro is powered by Snapdragon 680 chipset, which is paired with 8 GB of RAM, and along with that it has 128 GB of internal storage, and at the top of that the RAM is expandable up to 5 GB extra, and that takes the total RAM up to 13 GB. And while speaking about the performance, let's just open the benchmarks of the smartphone which I recently performed, and in an Antutu benchmark score this phone has managed to score 281,565 scores, which is an average smartphone score. Considering the price range of the smartphone, it should have been above 300,000, but that's not the case here. And speaking about the Geekbench 5 scores on the smartphone, this smartphone has managed to score 382 single core scores and 1576 multi-core score, which is kind of similar to the OPPO's A96, because that particular smartphone from OPPO also has Snapdragon 680 on board. So the overall performance of both of these smartphones is quite similar. Speaking about the 3D Mark's benchmark scores, the smartphone has managed to score, and I would like to mention that these are not the exceptional scores, because this smartphone is not particularly made for the performance enthusiast users and the gamers. And while we are speaking about the gamers, let's just play PUBG Mobile and check out the performance of the phone. And similar to the every device with the Snapdragon 680 that I have recently unboxed, this smartphone can play PUBG Mobile like games at smooth settings on high frame rate, and if we switch the graphics to the balance setting, you can play the game at medium frame rate, and there is no option to play the game on HD settings, so that's the downside. So if you're a gamer looking to buy a device particularly for the gaming purposes, then the OPPO's F21 Pro may not be a right choice for you. Well, speaking about the software experience of the OPPO's F21 Pro, it is really an improved UI over the ColorOS 11.0, because the smartphone is packed with ColorOS 12.0, which is based on Android 12. So you are not only getting an updated UI from OPPO, but you're also getting the latest Android system out there. The overall user experience of the ColorOS is overall decent, and it provides quite realistic and near to the stock Android experience. OPPO's worked really well on the animation part, and as you can see, the overall user experience has been improved with the animations, and the ColorOS 12.0 has better animations than most of the UIs available out there, as you can see. And there is also an option to create an emoji. Another cool feature in the UI is creating an emoji which will be a unique representation of yourself when you are using the smartphone, and you can customize it as per your liking. You can change the head, the hairs, the brows, the eyes, nose, and you can literally optimize this emoji feature as per your own convenience. And this particular feature not only makes the ColorOS 12.0 unique, but at the same time it is also entertaining. Wallpaper based theming of the smartphone, and the icons changes the color based on the wallpaper at the back. Another cool feature of the ColorOS is that you can customize the icon as per your liking, and it is rarely available in the user interfaces of the other companies, so it's definitely an impressive thing. Now it's time to discuss the cameras part, and the OPPO's F21 Pro comes with a triple camera sensor. And the primary sensor is a 64 megapixel main camera with f1.7 aperture. There is a 2 megapixel microscope camera with f3.3 aperture, and there is also a 2 megapixel macro camera with f2.4 aperture. So you are getting a micro and a macro lens in the smartphone, and that is the most unique feature about the smartphone. And this micro lens is really impressive, and you'll find it soon enough. The selfie shooter on the front is Sony's IMX709 sensor, which has been made between the collaboration of OPPO and Sony, and it captures the images really well even in low light performance, and we're going to test that in a while. Now let's just take a look at the camera samples of the smartphone. They are appearing on your screen. You can let me know how did you find them in the comment section, and you're also going to take a look at an exciting feature, which is the micro lens of the smartphone. To capture amazing microscopic shots, the smartphone utilizes a light ring that is appearing right there around the micro camera. This really helps to take impressive pictures. Let me show you a sample. So here's the SIM ejector toolkit, and you can check out the quality and the detail that it can captures. It can literally capture the micro details on any surface, and the camera results will surprise you. I've tested this smartphone under broad daylight, and the camera has managed to capture some really good shots. The images captured offered ample amount of detailing with the vibrant colors, and the color reproductions is also up to the mark. And not only the back camera of the smartphone is well, but the front camera of the smartphone will also surprise you with its results. The main concern when it comes to the video recording is the restriction of 1080p that has been imposed by the Snapdragon 680 for sure. And to be honest, that is the only downside I found in the OPPO's F21 Pro's camera section. Overall, in the initial camera tests that I performed, this smartphone overall impressed me. Speaking about the battery life, this smartphone packs a 4500 mAh battery, and that comes with a 33 watt of power brick, which as per OPPO will charge this particular smartphone up to 100% in 60 to 65 minutes, which is a decent charging time. And at the top of that, this smartphone's battery will last longer because of the optimizations, and for that I'd like to credit OPPO's new ColorOS and also the Snapdragon 680, which is a really power efficient chipset. So overall, if you're concerned about the battery life, the smartphone is not going to disappoint you, and you can take my word for that. Now concluding my first impressions of the OPPO's F21 Pro, and this smartphone is really good for users who are looking to opt for a device that can stand out in terms of the design. Not only that, but if you're a consumer looking to buy a device for the camera purposes, then too the OPPO's F21 Pro will not disappoint you. It has really good camera system. And for the gamers out there, the OPPO's F21 Pro, even though delivers decent performance and it can manage to run any day-to-day task that you may throw on it, it can also play games like PUBG and Call of Duty, but not on the maximum settings that you may be looking for. So if you're looking to buy a device specifically for the gaming purposes, then I wouldn't recommend this device to you. However, for the casual users who are looking to buy a device that can stand out and provides decent performance and a longer battery life, the OPPO's F21 Pro could be a choice for you.